you guys are talking about. Just let it go, heal. If it take me 8 years
hello people, good morning, good
to take serve wickedness, I get more 8 years to take talk about the wickedness. Y'all free me and leave me alone.
The former pastor in Apostle Johnson Suleman's church. I gave you part 1 earlier, and this is part 2. And I promise you are going to enjoy this video. But before we enter into the video, please, I made a video this afternoon, and I made a passionate plea about some women that have been abused by the people they call their husbands. All of these women have got children. Please, I'm just begging you. I just want to plead with you. You know, I just know that God still has people on earth. You know, few hours after that video or so, you know, somebody called me from the United States, and just to confirm if I was real, and she confirmed, and you know, she sent something, you know, and I promise each and every one of you I'm going to give an account of how the money was used. And believe you me, just few minutes after that video, or few hours after that video, one of the ladies called me, the one that you heard her voice note, you know, that she ran out of the house because the man nearly killed her. He grabbed her phone, smashed her phone. She only managed to get a SIM card. Get one of her SIM cards, and inserted it into somebody's phone. You know, as at that time, she didn't even know where she would spend the night. I only told her, you know, to look around her and see where she could get small phone at least, you know, so that we can get her a phone, and that she can actually start, you know, at least so that I can reach her, and from there we can find what to do. Please, you know, I understand some of you may have listened to her and you'll be like, why this, why that. Now she may have made some errors as a naive young woman. It doesn't stop there. We can still help. So as much as you can, please render your help, and God of the poor, the God of the downtrodden, will not leave you unrewarded. Now, if you are used to giving millions and thousands to projects in church because they have promised you are going to be blessed, I'm not saying that you're not going to be blessed in church, but this is the right kind of project. The Bible says that he that pitieth the poor lendeth to his maker. I love that part of the scripture, and you know that God can never owe you. It means that when you help the poor, you have lent to God, and God, when he will pay, definitely he will pay with heavy interest. Thank you so much, and God bless you. That is not part of the video, but I just want to make this impute. Remember, there are others, and they really need the help, they and their children, so that they can at least find something doing to support themselves and their children. Thank you so much, and God bless you. So let's watch and listen to Joy Increase give us the clue of what she was into and what they did. Should I say did together? I wouldn't know.
Funny. So, like I was saying though, so most people be like, don't say, allow God judge these people, or they are men of God. These are not men of God. You know why you guys fall for this? And why we fell for it? Do you know why they encourage you not to listen to other sound Simon? Do you know why they encourage you don't listen to these pluggers? No. If your hands are clean, a story is out about you, you'll be like, I didn't do this thing. Come out and say it. I did not do it at all. Or I've made a mistake. These things have been exaggerated. I just ask for mercy and prayer. Voila! You've been doing this thing for years. You've been doing this thing for years. You guys are so good at the craft. You learn these things. You brainwash your member. You keep them in a circle. It's only those with no spiritual walk with God that go to listen to all these people that condemn men of God. No, sir. They ain't condemning you. They are calling you out of the evil things you've been doing for years. Because now I know, now I see the same platform that I used to defend rubbish for a long time is the same platform I will use to speak the truth for a long time to come.
You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
If you're following this page, look at everything I've posted. When they want to give to, they will look for one frustrated widow. How much they say they build us for Africa? How much where did they buy land? And lucky that they buy the widow them line. How much does it take? They will look for one village and buy one cheap land for like 200 or 150,000, which is that's less like $300. Then they will not build one frustrated house, paint it. Then they will come on camera. I'm blessing this widow today. They put it on camera. But when they want to take your money and call their dangerous seed, they ain't putting it on camera. They're switching off that camera. That's business. Learn the game. Listen to me. That's business. It's a business mindset. You want to be a billionaire, you got to lose millions. You want to be a millionaire, you got to lose thousands. And you want to be a thousandaire, you got to lose 100. But you want to be poor for life, you got to lose nothing. It's the principle of life, and that's what these men are operating with. So you guys can be mad at me all day. Listen to me. Joy don't care. Joy don't care. If I have to take that pastor off my name to do the work of God and tell people this is what to watch out for, Facebook has not given me that option because I'm embarrassed. You guys think you can come every day and come and be let God judge. All those formats don't inspire for me. If you not notice, all these wicked people, you know why they continue to live? Buhari know they die. All the prayer when I don't pray, the man still strong, safe. Tinubu is not dying. None of them are dying. Do you know why? Because when wicked people are in positions and good people are silent, evil thrive. Though these politicians are better than many of these fraudulent pastors, what they do, you know why most of the time when these pastors they speak, these politicians they laugh, they know where they see them. But some of the girls that the politicians are sleeping with, the pastors are sleeping with them. And you know, sometimes girls talk and girls will be like, oh, I'm having a dealing with this man of God, and they'll be like, you don't mean it. The girl will be like, yeah, I'll show you our conversation. And when they start being on the altar pronouncing curses, they're in their office laughing.
I want to place a curse on those that fight the gospel. I hear that in Kaduna now they've released a circular that church will not use instruments from so time to so time, that you need crusade. Bring it. Is that the game? Bring it from the governor. I told you before that we have a government that will fight the church. Did I say that? Check my prophecy for the year. That you must preach with a license. It is wrong to play religious cassettes or use loudspeaker in religious purpose after 8 p.m. person commits an offense under the provision who commits shall be liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or 200,000 fine, or both, or have his license revoked. Yeah. The truth is, if they say people should come and collect license, they are talking about appointing a chairman that will determine the regulations. Who will they appoint? Their own. You see the strategy? They will appoint their own, who will make it hard for the church but easy for the mosque. I want to warn the governor of Kaduna State.
The truth is that when I saw this video in those days, I was like, wow, finally God has raised a voice even for the church, because we were like, enough is enough. This persecution is too much. We are being, snuffed out. Nobody is speaking. Nobody, actually nobody was talking that time. All the GOs, Papa GOs, everybody was keeping quiet, and these people were just like, wow. And as at that time too, I was just getting to know Suleman. So when I heard him say this, I was like, that's it. That's what we have been waiting for. We've been waiting for another Idahosa that could wake up, stand up and speak, and the government of the day would listen. And somehow it is almost 7 going to 8 years now, and yet the short man is still there. El Rufai is still there. Nothing has happened. Now you see, if only that we can endure ourselves, actually, because a lot of us have read too much about Elijah and Elisha and all the old prophets, how that they spoke and God honored their words, how that the Bible said that we shall set a decree and the God shall establish it. It is actually biblical, so it's not that what he said here was out of order. It wasn't out of place. As at that time, even as it is now, it was also then, though it is worse now, that that was actually when they were trying to show the true color of the kind of government they were about to give us, because that was when their government came into power newly. And so all these things was, they began to show face, and Suleman popped up and, started speaking. I admired his courage, but unfortunately, nothing has happened. Now, I was saying that the thing is that we all want to be like Elijah. We all want to be like Elisha. Even me, we all want to be like Peter, whose shadow could heal the sick. We all want to be like Paul, from whose body aprons and handkerchiefs could heal the sick, but how many of us have actually tried to give the level of concentration and commitment that those people gave to God and to the Lord in those days? Many of us, we don't even spend time to talk to God. Even myself talking to you, we don't spend enough time before God, in the presence of God, and so we expect to do greater things than Jesus did, because that was the promise. And so we just wish it, and we go out there to talk, and when we talk, nothing happens, because ironically, the same man who he spoke against, El Rufai, came out and he spoke, and he said if he was truly an apostle, he should give him the date of his death. And the man is still there. Now, I'm not saying that Suleman, that God is not hearing his voice, but then look at this now. You see, and when Joy Increase mentioned that thing he mentioned, El Rufai actually made mockery of Suleman, and eventually the next thing we heard was the Otobo case that came out, and that news of that time was linked to these particular statements and all that. And there is somebody here who is watching me now that want to say, hey, isn't it true? Well, I'm not saying it is not true, but I'm just saying what I think is obvious.
Many times I've read on paper how he abused Jesus. I've read many things, and Christians came after him. He said they are joking, nothing can happen. I'm talking to the Kaduna governor. Listen, I am not against sanitizing the state, but if you say people should get license for preaching, it's not applicable in Nigeria. Even a herbalist does not get license for practicing herbalism. When you say license for preaching, you are standing against the constitution that says freedom of worship. have no problem. We can test powers now. Listen. There are certain laws that cannot happen in this country. Not when Nigeria is under God. If need be, over this matter, heaven will intervene. I'm saying this to the executive of the cabinet: revoke this law or die. If you feel I am running my mouth, ask questions. I stood on this same pulpit here some time back and I spoke to Kogi State, and they said he's running his mouth. Let's see. Thank God the whole world is a witness of that. And I'm not just sure, because you told me that yesterday. You don't inconvenience people, because there are certain things you cannot change. Am I speaking here?
So, like I said, we wish that we will have men of God that could speak, and it will come to pass just like it was in the days of old. We still have them here. Honestly speaking, we still have them, but the thing is that their voice are not being heard. You know, so many of these other ones that are popular on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and you understand, you know, that have money to project themselves, have been able to suffocate, you know, life out of the names of those ones. But then they don't actually need to you know, force it out. A time will come when they will be heard, you know. So like I said earlier on, what is his name, El-Rufai, came out and, you know, he said something that was like mockery, you know, a challenge to Suleman. I have not seen anyone talking about Islam. Actually, most of the people that say I would die as if I would not die are people who call themselves Christian clergy. Of course, I would die. If that apostle is true, is truly an apostle, he should mention the day I will die. El-Rufai said. You see that?
Though it must be stated that I wouldn't know if it was because of what Suleman said, because then after that, others started talking, as you also hear from El-Rufai there, that a lot of Christians were speaking about it. So it's like that law that that bill he was promoting that time, you know, was killed, because I do not think it was signed into law anymore, and that actually died down. But then, you know what I'm talking about.
So now when Joy Increase said what she said, that sometimes, you know, when they curse, those guys will be in their offices laughing, you know, this came to my mind, and I went searching for this video and this event. It didn't happen today anyway. It happened several years ago. I think it was in 2015 that all these things happened. And by next year, El-Rufai will be leaving office. Who knows? Maybe maybe the what is it? Is it declaration now, prophecy now? Maybe it will still come to pass. Well, let us wait and see.
Nigeria is used to corruption. Africa is used to oppression. There's something about us as kin. We love oppression. We love oppression. We, as long we gain, we benefit from it. We feel like our families are protected in that system. Whoever perishes is nobody's concern. People will be like, oh, she's rude. She's a no. I'm not rude. I'm a passionate person. I'm a passionate. God designed me and made me this way. It's not my faults. Some of you are cold-blooded hearted. It's whom you are. As long you are benefiting, nothing is your business. What you say? What it concern me? So far I chop. Not be everybody God create like that. But when you milk people, they give you your years. You guys are talking about, just let it go, heal. If it take me 8 years to take serve wickedness, I get more 8 years to take talk about the wickedness. Y'all free me and leave me alone.
Well, brothers and sisters, let me see you in the comment section. Let me see your reaction and your opinion. And I want to say once again, God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, from me to you.